Welcome to the show about the show, the podcast. I'm Will, and I eat oats. I'm a mayor. As always, I'm joined by my friend Ben. He eats oats. He's a doe. Hi, Ben.
What's up?
And eating the ivy, the little lamb himself, Atticus. Hi, Atticus.
Howdy.
Now, listeners, when it comes to eating ivy, wouldn't you? This is a show about Twin Peaks. Today we're jumping into the second season. This is season 2, episode 1, aka episode 8, which is, of course, the 9th episode of the show. We can't get away from the numbers. They're going to follow us the entire time. What's going on, gang?
What's up with that? What's up with that song? Is that Irish? Is that Scottish?
No, it just sounds like nonsense, and you're being racist to Irish. No, mares eat oats and does eat oats and little lambs eat ivy. The kid will eat ivy too, wouldn't you?
But I mean, that's that area.
It's Irish coded.
Is it really not there? From there,
I looked it
from
up.
That region. I don't know what you call that. It needs to have a name, like the North Atlantic, the Northeast Atlantic.
It was written in 1943 by Milton Drake, Al Hoffman, and Jerry Livingston. The song was first played on the radio station WOR New York by Al Trace and his Silly Symphonists. So I think it's just an American. Yeah.
That's crazy.
If the words sound queer and funny to your ear, a little bit jumbled and jivey, sing mares eat oats and does eat oats and little lambs eat ivy.
Damn. That kind of sucks. That has to be. That's a song that like flies if it's like, oh, this is oral tradition. I was reading about some countries, or not really, like islands claimed by countries on Wikipedia yesterday, and some of them said like claimed by the United States since December 8th, 1936 or something like that, and then say like claimed by Micronesia since oral tradition or whatever. If your song is
Sure.
Oral tradition old, if that song was oral tradition, okay, fine. But you wrote that song? You probably got a copyright on that or something like that in America?
It was a number one sheet music seller, reached number one in March 1944, made the charts, not the Pop-Tarts, several times. That's so funny that this was like a bop, like a banger. People were like,
well,
yo. People were like
that's
making
something.
out to mares eat oats.
They don't do hot sheet music sellers much anymore. You don't hear about that much.
I love the idea of that too, where it's like, oh, I gotta hear that. Please play it for me. Here it is. Like buying sheet music is really, in that way, is really funny to think about.
I gotta learn mares eat oats.
That's kind of like, yo, I love the concept, but your execution is ass. So I will be doing it on my own.
And what's the song at the end that he was singing?
Get happy.
Get happy. Okay. And what is that a similar, like, just
Pharrell wrote that, I believe.
Yeah.
okay.
No, I don't know about that one. But
Get Happy 1930. Sorry.
For the Pharrell hat. The Pharrell wearing the big hat. That's Twin Peaks coded.
Man, there should we release an edit of him maybe just superimposing the hat over him, or should we also change the song to Happy? That song sucks, right? Happy.
That's oral
Pharrell's
tradition level song too,
No kid. That seems real. Like, come on, Pharrell. Like you're capable of so much more.
I feel like
this is
the screaming hot take here. It has no chance to be likable. You couldn't even begin to judge its merits just because of the exposure you've had to it. There's no chance for you to listen and go, this is good or bad. You cannot
the Happy
judge
song? Is it a Despicable Me?
Yes, I was going to say you can't take a
But
Despicable
like,
Me song and
is
go,
it really like
this
a
is
single
good or
for the
bad?
movie?
Is it
It's a Minion song.
Is it an original? What do you call that? An original song for Minions?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, it's not just like a needle drop.
God,
I
dude,
haven't
yes. It's
haven't
released
seen
as the only
Minions.
single from the soundtrack album for the film Despicable Me 2, 2013.
It's fully impossible to
Really?
judge a song like that based on like, oh, it's got a good groove or it doesn't have a good groove. It's the fucking Despicable Me song.
I've never seen the movies, but I'm pretty pro idea of Minions, but this has reduced my level of respect for the Minions.
I think this is the first time I'm seeing the album image for, or like the single image for Happy. He's wearing the hat, but the rest of the fit is also trash. I mean, the hat is the only good part about his fit.
Did he have
in
on like
general there.
the like yellow shirt with like overalls?
Oh
or
no, it's
something?
worse.
No, that would be better. It would be better
It's
if
worse.
he
I
did.
just looked it up.
Yeah.
It's a tight like tuxedo shirt and jean shorts.
Jorts, but with bow tie. It's very 2013. But like, didn't he had that Daft Punk song, just like Get Lucky, just like the year before.
It was
right?
about
Or
a
maybe-
massive. I think same year. I think that was a massive year for 2013. Sounds. I think was both songs.
That is 20. Holy cow! No one was doing it like Pharrell that year. I still didn't watch the Lego biopic of him. Probably won't ever get around to it, frankly. But again, I'm still like, I think he is talented and can clearly make good songs. I think making Happy is below him. Anyway, what is this podcast about? A podcast about Twin Peaks. That's right. Yeah, we're into season 2. We watched all of the first season. That's how this works. And they made more Twin Peaks. They came out with a double long episode to start the season, which I was not expecting.
To start the
Dude,
like
they
just
triple
aired
long
it?
season.
Yeah, it's a triple long season. It's like 22 episodes or something, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And audiences were okay with that. Just like that's. It just seems kind of. I was surprised that they did this again, and people were just okay with watching a double long episode.
I mean, people generally want more of the
More.
stuff, right?
Give me more.
I was
I don't know.
kind of wishing it was a short one. Not before, just purely out of schedule. This was nothing to do with the quality of the show or anything, but just yeah, I got it. We started this at the late hour of 8:30 last night, and that's something that is tough.
Yo,
for
I
me.
was on your shit yesterday. I ate dinner
I
at
felt
like
someone on my shit.
4:30 p.m. Ate dinner. Went home
Nice. The
and-
4:30 dinner. That's great.
But you know what? I didn't fall asleep until like 4 a.m. though, which was crazy. So not doing that
that
again.
is nuts.
Don't do what Will does, folks.
You'll never fall asleep. Atticus, when did you watch this episode?
I split it up. I fell asleep watching it the other night and then finished it this morning
Nice.
at like 5 a.m.
Why are you guys on? What's going on with your guys' sleep? You're getting up too early on a Sunday, Atticus. And Ben, I don't even know how to begin addressing not falling asleep until 4 a.m. That
I had
sounds
some
like
sleep
just
debt
a
to
serious
catch up
problem.
on, so I went to bed at like
Mm.
7 p.m. last night on accident.
Okay,
I
and then so you got up super early
said-
first thing.
Yeah. And I set a timer for an hour and I called it a nap, thinking I'll wake up at 8 and continue my night a little bit. I don't think anyone's ever done that, potentially.
That is
Taken
definitely
a post 6 p.m. nap and had any amount of day left.
yeah. That's playing with
Well,
fire right there.
As I said, I was on Wikipedia reading about unclaimed or multi-claimed land, islands, reefs, things like that.
Nice. I saw the article was being passed around on Blue Sky yesterday. The Wikipedia entry for list of individual dogs, which is a good one.
Interesting.
Learn about some dogs.
I read a good list yesterday on Wikipedia, a list of Chinese restaurants. That was surprising.
That's great.
It was pretty long. as
sure.
you might imagine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Did it include
Especially
restaurants
ones
in China?
China.
Yeah, okay.
I was gonna call that out. The section for China, extremely long.
Is there a difference between just China? Sorry, this is something that we need to be doing over the Patreon because this is an extra long episode anyway. But are there Chinese American restaurants? Like, do they do American food in China, but they do it like Chinese with a Chinese twist? Like, okay,
I mean, I can say that because I've been to them. I've been to
I'd
some
be
of those
asking.
types of
Yeah.
places. Yeah.
Maybe we'll pick back up on the Patreon because I'm dying to know what that's like.
that's a good. You know what? We'll talk about that over on the Patreon. Head over to patreon.com/Dr. Skeleton for more about Chinese American restaurants, cuisines, whatnot.
In
We'll be
China.
reviewing every single restaurant on the on that list. Okay, yeah. So season 2, episode 1. May the Giant Be With You. This aired September 30th, 1990. It was written by Mark Frost and David Lynch, and it was directed by David Lynch. And I'll say right up top, this is Lynch firing on all cylinders. This is,
Yeah.
my man was cooking with as much gas as I think I've ever seen him cook with.
The Who named that episode? German people later.
The
right?
Germans. It's
'cause
called
that's-
episode 8.
Yeah, exactly. May the Giant Be With You is, damn, dude, phoning it in too. Another oral tradition. If I
What would you call this
heard of
episode?
Probably episode 8. I'm just saying it's not.
No, you
David
can't.
Lynch.
No, because it's the 9th episode. So we're trying to get away from the numbers.
I feel like something like
I
what
don't
he
know,
says
but
at the end, like, what does he say? He says, the answer.
I call it the smiling bag or something. Like one
Yeah,
of those things.
something. One of the clues
Yeah,
that he gives them.
the 3
What about-
truths.
I like a little, kind of benign thing though. Sometimes too. Room service, something like that.
That's
Milk,
great too. Mm-hmm.
Don't let your
May
milk
the-
get warm. Or
I- I've
May the
heard
Giant
about
Be
you.
With you. It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's such a phoning it in thing.
maybe in German it translates to something that makes more
Dramatic.
sense. Yeah. We have a new shot in the intro. You notice that? There's a new clip.
Yep. At the end, they were long. I mean, it was a long one. They had a lot of
It was a
people
long-
to.
Because
had a
don't
lot
they
of
have?
people to
Do
credit.
they have 2 different versions? Like when it's a short episode, it's a short theme, right? Or am I losing?
I feel like when they have when it's the long, when they get through a lot of credits, they just kind of linger on a couple shots for a lot longer. But there's like a fully new insert in this season, which is the or this. I don't know if they're gonna keep doing it, but there's a new shot of a log, like a big cut up log that wasn't in the first season. But Ben, why don't you walk us through the episode?
Oh yeah, forgot that's my job. Okay. At the Great Northern Hotel in the small town of Twin Peaks. In case you've forgotten, since checking
Exterior,
in
Twin
on
Peaks.
tvtropes.org, FBI agent Dale Cooper is lying on the floor of his room after being shot 3 times in the torso, while Deputy Andy Brennan is frantically calling for him on the phone. An elderly and seemingly senile waiter comes into the room with a glass of warm milk and asks about Cooper's well-being, confused as to why he is lying on the floor, before hanging up the phone and seemingly not understanding Cooper's request for a doctor. Hate it when that happens. The waiter has Cooper sign the bill, which includes gratuity. I forgot about that because I wanted to do, in the middle of it, my brain was racing and I was going to do a tip check with you guys. What are you guys tipping on this? Because we talked about the tipping situation of
For a
ordering
single drink.
milk to the room last time. Yeah. It does include gratuity. The waiter warns him that his milk is going to get cold on him. And before leaving the room, he smiles at Cooper and tells him that he knows him from somewhere. What do you guys think about this opener?
This scene, this is out of the gate, like pedal to the metal David Lynch bullshit at the best possible degree. This
It was
is
ripping.
It was
Awesome.
absolutely ripping. Yeah. Just fumbling with the phone. It's very bothersome. Andy's crashing out on the other end of the line. Not doing anything like useful, like or like can you hear me, like or like trying to like get help or anything, but he's just like Agent Cooper, Agent Cooper, Agent Cooper, Agent Cooper, just over and over and over and over again. And it's hilarious. The scene is like so funny and frustrating, and like
It kind of
it's tapping
crosses
into,
back and forth perfectly between those two things.
yeah, it's like totally surreal, but also so immediately relatable too at the same time, which is exactly the frequency that David Lynch operates at, right? But like this is what it's like to talk to like an old guy, you know, and
To need something from an old guy.
yeah. And he couldn't, and Cooper couldn't need anything more than medical attention. And I love also how like the giant makes it clear, like this is like actually happening. Like you do like need a fucking doctor, like for sure. Like that part isn't imagined. And this guy is just, I've heard about you. He comes back 3 times. And like the scene is so drawn out that way. I mean, Lynch is dialed in. Is so good. What do you guys think?
Yeah, very awesome. This guy, who do you guys have it in front of you? I was trying to look it up really quick. Who's the actor?
Hank Warden. He's from Iowa.
Really? Okay.
Maybe that's why it feels so familiar. It's like all of our guys here.
I think he's in some John Ford movies.
He is.
Stagecoach.
Interesting.
He's in The Searchers too.
The Searchers.
Damn.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
And David Lynch played John Ford in The Fablemans.
yes. I mean, that's what I was getting at. Though we'll save that for the future. I'm not prepared to talk about John Ford. I know everybody wants me to talk about John Ford right now, but the David Lynch, John Ford, big
Please, please, all of the listeners.
big connection stuff, going on there, influences, etc., things of that nature. Okay, can we move on from this? Are there any more thoughts on the opener? I mean, there's just like a million things to say about it.
I know, exactly. Like I wanted to keep talking about it, but we have to move on. But yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I did a performance of it for someone, or for Cassetta, because she hadn't seen this scene, so I performed it.
After the waiter leaves, an impossibly tall man suddenly appears in the room. I gotta say, not impossibly tall, because it's a real
I'm seeing it, right?
actor. It's a real man.
Also, thank you for bringing this up. There's giant shrinkflation. Like they're calling him a giant and stuff like that. And I know that's like a real like technical term or whatever, to be like a giant is or like a real thing, or maybe you have like gigantivitis or whatever the thing is. But to me, growing up, a giant is someone who's literally 100 feet tall. Like this is like fantasy style stuff. Like, and then I feel like I feel bad for the people who are real giants, because like they're like tiny compared to what the word giant means. You can't just
What do you
say,
clock him at? I've got his height in front of me.
7'1"? No,
I was gonna say 7'2".
6'8". It's a big gym.
7.
But 6'8". 7. Okay.
7 even.
What's Kyle MacLachlan? Let's get a height and shoe size.
Check my chart.
Wait. Wait.
You ever see like actors audition tapes or whatever? They'll say their name and then their height.
Interesting. No.
Yeah.
Do
they'll
they
say, like Will
lie?
Roberts, like 6'4", for example.
Google's guess is 6 foot even.
For Kyle MacLachlan?
I
Yeah.
doubt
Okay.
that.
Fine.
I bet
I don't
he's a
actually
little bit
can't peg
shorter.
him very well.
Pause.
I've been pretty self-conscious, Will, since you introduced me to Chris for the first time, and he made a comment about like, "Oh, how tall are you?" Or I don't know if he didn't really ask me, but he was like, he made a comment like, "Yeah, nobody's 6
Oh,
feet
you little guys.
tall." He wasn't like, he's like, "Nobody's 6 feet tall. You're either 6'1" or you're 5'11." And I've been shaken since then because I think I am 6 feet tall, but I think the point was, you're lying. You're lying if you're 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
You're only 5'11. So now I'm pretty.
Wait, which one of you was who's
self-conscious.
Atticus? Are you who's which one of you two is taller?
I might have a similar complex that I think I'm 6 feet too.
Yeah.
Not 6 feet too, 6 feet as well.
Okay.
I'm probably either 5'11" or 5, or I don't know, 5'11" or 6'1", like Chris said, but I don't know which one.
Well, I think. I mean, you're both got to be at least 2 inches taller than I am.
How tall are you?
Gotta.
I'm 6
This
feet.
will help. This will help. Okay, good.
No, I'm 5. I think I'm 5'10".
Good. That makes us 6 then.
Yeah. That's just funny that big old Chris just casually instilling terror into you for the rest of your life.
Yeah. I think about it all the time. Yeah. It's very
There's
scary.
no
I
way
think
he
I
has to
lied.
give it
I lied
second
at I lied at the DMV last time because I was thinking of it too. Because I was thinking like, oh man, if I say when she asked me my height, she's gonna think that I'm lying if I say 6 feet. So I was like 6'1".
I feel like they
Is it
could
like
be
you
less
actually
engaged
lying?
with what
so
you're
my
saying.
license says 6'1". Yeah. I guess I can get away with stuff though. They'll never catch me.
For sure.
We're looking for a 6'1" man.
We're looking for someone who self-reports 6'1".
The giant talks to Cooper in a gentle voice, telling him to think of him as, quote, a friend, before telling him 3 cryptic hints, asking him to believe him if they come true. Quote, there is a man in a smiling bag. Quote, the owls are not what they seem. And, quote, without chemicals, he points. Cooper asks the giant to explain what he means, which you really think he's going to do that, my guy? But he apologetically replies,
Worth a
these
shot.
things are all he's permitted to say. I agree. I guess I do agree with you on that. A lot of people in movies don't even take a shot. Sometimes you just got to ask.
Mm-hmm.
These are the only things he's permitted to say. He then asks Cooper for the ring on his pinky finger and promises to give it back once he finds out the truth. Okay, maybe my eyes blurred over, but I thought he took it off of his ring finger, which was really surprising to me. Was it his pinky?
No, it was his pinky.
It was okay.
You were watching the AI upscaled version where Cooper has like
They've moved it
7
over.
fingers on each hand. No, it was his pinky. I was locked into that because I think I only recently noticed that he has a ring on his pinky.
It's like which ring, and then he pops out his like Johnny Depp hands covered in rings.
He gives the Tom Brady spread. Yeah.
I also enjoy telling someone to think of you as a friend, not I'm a friend.
No, that's a great little twist. I think it's such a good, well written line. To think of me as a friend. I'm not like, hey, I'm a friend. Yeah. In your language, in your words, in your world, I would be a friend to you. Or it could be misdirection. So yeah, really, really good.
I was watching. What did I watch? I watched a movie. Somebody kept saying that I'm your friend. Oh, it was a. Oh yeah, it was about. It was. Never mind. It was dark. I watched a movie about the rape of Nanking, and the Japanese people kept telling the Chinese people, "I'm your friend," before, you know, being evil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Cool.
never mind. Asks him for the ring before he disappears into thin air. Just as suddenly as he appeared, the giant says that there is one last thing he needs to tell Cooper. Quote, Leo, locked inside hungry horse. There's a clue locked inside Leo's house, which God, that one's not as cryptic.
No.
Also, how
Kind of ran out
could
of steam
they
on that.
get away with not investigating Leo's house? You know. Well,
So,
actually,
yeah, I think we're gonna be checking it out. Yeah, thanks, man.
actually, these guys they might actually skip that. They're not told by a dream.
Yeah, really. He was running out of steam, just kind of.
Mhm.
It's like he was kind of going for another cryptic one, like, oh, the owls aren't what they seem. Leo locked inside hungry horse. Oh, okay. Yeah, check out
check his
Leo's
house out. Mhm.
Got it. Yeah.
Have no beginning nor end, weighs less than a shadow, but more than a horse. Who am I?
I'm Dave.
Clue number 2. It's to the left of the tree. Clue number 3. It's in Spain. Ah, man.
At the One-Eyed Jacks, Jerry Horn gives Blackie his fix of cocaine while his brother Ben attempts to use the services of the newest hire, Prudence, unaware that she is actually his own daughter, Audrey. Oops.
Tough watch.
Yes.
She hides her identity from him before Jerry alerts him to trouble, leaving Ben to reluctantly leave the room, promising to be back later. Alone and quite shaken, Audrey breathes a sigh of relief. What are you guys doing if your dad's doing that?
No. That's not a prompt. We're not doing this part of the podcast. All right, fellas, let's break into the segment where what happens if your dad tries to sleep with you.
Well,
No,
I'm
we're
talking, sleuthing. You gotta, thinking on your feet.
I give
She
up the
thinks on her
sleuth.
feet. She
I
grabs
think.
the mask. She grabs the mask. Would you?
Definitely
No,
give up.
I'm
I
really,
go
I'm
home.
really dragging you guys into answering this.
What?
one. But she doesn't want to reveal herself to him either. That's why she had to think on her feet. You can't be
What's
like,
the question?
never mind,
what-
it's me, Dad. How are you?
Oh, would you reveal yourself?
No, how would you sneakily get out of the situation like her? She does the mask.
I
guess
mean,
I'd probably do the
it's
mask
really
too.
upsetting to watch because it's like, where does she go? What does she do? There's no getting out of this. Like, there's not like a window. I was when she closed the drapes, I wondered if like I was hoping there was a window behind her that she was gonna crawl out of, but no, she's grabbing the mask. But I mean, I guess like if it's kind of handy that there were masks there,
Sure.
could.
But this is a I mean, not the dad thing, but this is a movie trope, a media trope of like in an awkward situation where you don't want to reveal yourself to somebody else and you think of something a little sneaky off the top of your head to get out of it. I like that.
Glad you had fun with this,
Yeah.
Ben, because this was really
The rest of us were
upsetting.
very uncomfortable.
Yeah, and Blackie I thought was interesting. Characterization of Blackie is significantly different than last season, or at least We get a
Yeah.
lot more characterization of her and some other characters throughout this episode. But right off the bat, she is way less in control than she was in season 1. Like from the rip, she's, shaken and whatever. Whereas even, last season, even when she was, in like business discussions or whatever, like with the horns and stuff, like she was still kind of in control of the room. I wonder if that's the difference between Ben and Jerry. Is that like Jerry seems like more of like the like unpredictable psycho, I guess, that like that maybe Blackie is able to manipulate Ben in a more predictable way. Not manipulate, but like, from her station, her relative position, their relative positions, she's able to maneuver around him a little bit better to at least kind of like know what he's going to do next. And Jerry is less predictable and seems liable to fly off the handle at any second. But yeah, we see she's got a drug problem.
Hate to see it.
But
In
and poor Audrey, that sucks.
In the morning, the weakened Cooper is still bleeding on the floor, revealing to Diane through his dictaphone that he had put a bulletproof vest on during the undercover sting, but he had folded it up to get a wood tick when the gunman came at him, meaning that the vest only took 2 of the 3 shots fired at him. Cooper starts listing his wishes, sure that he is about to die from the blood loss, before he quietly realizes that his ring, which the giant asked for, really is missing. Just as he loses consciousness, Sheriff Harry Truman and his deputies knock down the door to the room and find him.
You clock what his wishes were?
Yes, but I've forgotten them. Remind me.
So he's
Climb
talking
a
about
hill.
how, yes, he wants to climb a hill, not too tall. He wants to make love to a beautiful woman who he has genuine affection for.
Mm-mm.
And he wants to free Tibet.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that one. Yeah, that's every time that comes up, I keep forgetting to look it up. What's the situation on Twin Peaks in China today? Because there's a lot more Tibet than I remember. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is firmly against the podcast, One China policy.
Maybe in China, I guess it wouldn't be that hard to just kind of swap it out. Maybe he just says, I hope that someday all of China will be united under one language in one country.
my one wish. I mean, maybe because he's an FBI agent, it changes the calculus a little bit. Where like, oh no, he would want a free Tibet because he's, subversive agent or something. I don't know.
He does talk about the Dalai Lama returning.
He does. He wants.
I guess
him to
I don't
be
know
returned.
what you'd say. What would you say? I hope that China's united under one language and one country for all Chinese people, and also the Dalai Lama stays in India for a long ass time.
So he also says something like, as long as you can keep the fear from your mind, like it's not so bad as long as you keep the fear from your mind. Atticus, you're the Dune head here on the pod, but that ringing any bells?
Say it again.
As long as you can keep the fear from your mind.
Fear is the mind killer.
That's right.
I think is the Dune line.
Mm-hmm. And Kyle MacLachlan played Paul Atreides.
Did he really?
Lynch's adaptation. Yeah, and David Lynch's
I didn't realize that.
Dune. Yeah.
Hours later, Cooper comes into the hospital. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Hours later, Cooper comes in Comes to? I think it means comes to in the
Oh.
hospital.
Yes. Okay.
Hours later, Cooper comes to in the hospital.
All right.
Relieved at seeing him awake again, Harry asks him what he remembers about his shooting, and Cooper says that he didn't get a look at the gunman's face as they were wearing a mask. Lucy recaps the last night's dramatic events to Cooper, which I thought was very
This was a
funny.
great moment.
It is. Also, why is Harry not saying it? He's like, Lucy, let him know everything that's happened because I've completely forgotten.
Because we know who really is the brains behind the Twin Peaks Sheriff's Department
Yeah,
operation. It's Lucy the goat.
she is holding
But-
it together. Yeah, by far.
But she like lists
Yeah.
off like all the stuff that happened, like the mill burnt down.
Well, I've got
you
it.
know.
I've got it. Let me
Okay.
read them out. Leo was shot and incapacitated. Jacques was strangled to death. There was a fire at the mill. Pete and Shelley were brought to the hospital with smoke inhalation injuries. Catherine and Josie have gone missing, and Nadine is in a coma from her attempted suicide with sleeping pills. And of course, as per usual on that last one, they're like, "Damn, all that stuff is pretty sad, and don't give a fuck about the Nadine thing. Let's just ignore that one."
I thought the really funny part was, yeah, Cooper's like, how long was I out? Like it's 7:45. Like this it's been a very busy day, and yeah, he was so high on his horse. You know, Agent Cooper was so stoked to be like, a job well done, quality, get some quality sack time, going to bed. Meanwhile, everything is popping off, and he has no idea about it. Yeah.
Yeah, sort of. Who's the guy who just watches Trump videos online all the
Oh.
time, and then he took a day off on the day that Trump got shot?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who was it?
Aaron
sort of that.
something.
Aaron Rupar. Yeah,
Yeah.
sort of an Aaron Rupar situation. In case you're more familiar with him than you are with Twin Peaks.
God help you if
Cooper-
you're coming to this podcast for like a like a comprehensible like summary. Like if you want to know what happened in the show, you try to listen to us.
Cooper insists on getting back in the field despite Dr. Hayward's wishes and says that the next step is searching Leo's house. As he leaves the
He
hospital
says like
with
the
Harry,
recuperative powers of the mind should not be underestimated. Something along those lines.
I think he says that he needs an hour to get dressed, though, or a couple hours to
Yes.
get dressed. As he leaves the hospital with Harry, Cooper sees Jacques being wheeled past them in a body bag, but the bag doesn't appear to be smiling. Wait, what? I think I'm. Am I forgetting? Well, what does this sentence mean? You guys are gonna have to remind me. I don't
It's
know.
from
What this
one of the truths that the giant said. Like,
Oh, yes.
the man in the
Okay.
smiling bag or something like that. And so he's
Okay, yeah.
looking at the bag and he's like, "Is that bag smiling?"
Once again, you don't come here for analysis. You don't
Wait,
come here for
who
analysis.
the
of
fuck
show.
is Agent Cooper? What the what's going on here? Feeling a little weird.
This might be a surface level, like, dumb guy question, but like, body bag, right? And who would have been in that bag? Or
Jacques.
Jacques? Okay, duh. Thank you.
At the Palmer household, Maddie Ferguson tells her Aunt Sarah about a strange dream she had, something to do with the living room rug. Wait, I haven't said this before, but what's up with Maddie's parents? Why are
Beth?
you sending your? Wait, are they? No, they're not.
Beth is her mom's
Oh,
name.
Beth.
We learn.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I thought you said death, but yeah.
No.
Beth is her mom. What do you, you're like, my niece just died. I got to take some R&R. Let's send off my daughter to hang out with her
No,
parents.
this is a real like old timey move. Like this is like happens with Little Women and stuff, like where you would you would like go live with your aunt and uncle for an extended period of time, kind of thing.
To take care of them? Kind of, I guess. That's
kind
the
of
generous reading. Because if the other way around,
like making meals for you
nice.
and like being there for emotional support. I wish people did.
But if you're doing that, but if you're just, I mean, Maddie's hanging out with the local crew, she's out doing
does she not
shit.
need to go to school? Is she like enrolled? You
Yeah.
think? I mean, we get.
I feel like it was the first mention of school with Bobby this episode. I feel like
his reaction to that. You think I go to fucking school? Basically, like that was a really good scene. But yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, I don't know. And this was a really disturbing scene with Maddie and Sarah in the living room. Sarah's like on tenterhooks, listening to Maddie's dream, and was like, "Is it about?" What was she saying? Was Laura in it? Yeah, was Laura there? And Maddie's talking about the rug, and then she sees the carpet, like the stains in the carpet after Leland comes through. But I'm getting ahead of ourselves.
Sarah asks her to elaborate, but is distracted when Leland enters the room, dancing while singing a jolly tune, quote, jolly tune. I'm bothered by it. With his hair having turned completely white, a transformation that shocks Sarah and Maddie. Leland just takes their discomfort in strife, cheerfully bidding them good morning before leaving the house while still singing, prompting Sarah to follow him and begging him to come back. Now alone, Maddie, to her horror, sees a blood stain appear on the rug. Yeah, what do you guys think about the blood stain in the vision?
Maddie was freaking out. Her reaction to it was all I needed.
Yeah. I mean, I know I've talked trash about their house before, but it really does add to the spookiness.
Bad vibes. Mm-hmm.
Bad vibe house.
I don't want to. Well, I guess I'll say it. I think my gold star of the episode goes to Ray Wise for his performance. But he's giving a tour de force.
Oh my god!
Like coming in with this song and dance, the new haircut. He is the man.
How freaked out would you be if you had day one or like immediate all white hair?
Probably more freaked out than he is. For him, he says he turned the corner and he feels a lightness in his soul now or something. Something snapped out of him
because he believes he killed her murderer. Right?
Yeah.
Turned his hair white.
Yeah, and that must have released something. I don't know, like extreme stress, something, whatever has made his hair suddenly turn. But yeah, he was going through it. That guy.
It looks good though. It
does look good.
I do think it looks good. People would like
Everybody's
that
just
today.
a handsome guy.
Yo, Dad, your hair's looking good. Still very full, just turned white.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people would pay money to do that. At the Great Northern Hotel, Ben and Jerry try to figure out their next actions. Leland then walks into their office, still singing and dancing to show tunes.
So
mystified by his behavior at first, the brothers quickly shrug it off and cheerfully join in with his dance. Why not,
Jerry hits the worm like instantly. That was so funny. Yeah. I feel like they're always filming these two brothers with like a very wide lens, or maybe it happened a couple times this episode, but like, you know, he just puts the camera on one side of the episode and lets the scene play out, and they kind of like get closer and like more exaggerated. But it's a really cool effect. It makes them like more cartoony. Like their evil is a little bit more Looney Tunesy. Yeah, Leland is like, I'm back. Then he starts singing. And then like they look at him for like 2 seconds, and then they just start like, oh yeah. And then Jerry hits the worm, dude. It's so funny.
I guess they're just doing this. Like, this isn't their first time. Like, sometimes someone shows up with a little song and they have a little moment together, and then they go back to plotting.
So. Mm-hmm.
Marx, it's they're like the Marx Brothers or whatever, you know. We've talked about duck soup on the podcast before. I'd like to get a little goofy with it, you know, goofy with your brothers.
Yep.
Finishing his song, Leland grandstandingly declares to his brothers that he is back and ready to resume his work. Cooper and Harry go to Leo's house to find any evidence.
Look at my
connected
lawyer dog. I'm going to
Laura's
jail. He's got
murder.
like the totally white hair. He's saying, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Maresy Dotes, Dozy Dotes. Little lambs eat ivy. Kids will eat ivy too. And ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I ask you, wouldn't you?
From scanning the room, Cooper deduces that Leo was trying to kill someone with an axe when someone from outside intervened and shot him. W.D. Hawk shows up with what he found in Leo's truck, another copy of Flesh World, and, more importantly, a gasoline-soaked jacket linking Leo to the fire at the sawmill. I do like, when Hawk shows up and he's like, check it out, another issue of Flesh World, and they're all like, yo, let me take a look at that. Flesh World's getting passed around a lot.
There's a lot of Flesh World in this episode. Digging through the back catalog eventually.
Albert Rosenfield arrives at the scene, and Andy accidentally steps on a loose plank on Leo's porch, revealing a drug stash hidden underneath it, and an extended, actually kind of Marx Brothers scene again.
Yeah.
It's funny. I will, if I had to criticize this episode at all, I think it would be around the Andy stuff. I mean, how dumb are they making this guy? Right? Like, you don't need to. It's just
Lean
it's
into it
getting
so
on the
much.
verge of cruelty of how, like, can this guy breathe? He's so stupid. But
I mean, Albert's got some
it's fun.
great lines.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where's his water dish?
I mean, that's great. I love Albert, whatever. But like, just like the Andy, just like basically is like the Hodor of this show, where he's like screaming on the phone just over and over, not like being able to like string any thoughts together, and like he sees Albert come and he like isn't able to articulate anything either. He's just like, Harry, oh, and it's like you're making this guy like subhuman level intellect right now. I don't think it's necessary.
Maddie and Donna meet at the diner to discuss the last night's events, where Maddie hands over Laura's sunglasses. Donna receives a note that tells her to look into Meals on Wheels, an enterprise Laura was involved with before her death.
Okay. There's when they cut to the diner, there's like one extra or one featured guy who like screams in the middle of the restaurant, hot damn, that pie is good. And then it goes on to like the rest of the scene. That's such a
This whole
genius
community
touch.
is so pie-pilled. I want 2 entire pies.
Yeah, like later Shelly is like, I'm fucking serious. Bring the entire pie, Norma. Like,
Look at
I
me.
swear to God,
Look at me.
I'll cut you if you do not bring this entire pecan pie. But I just thought it was nice of David Lynch to give Ben a role in this episode to scream, "Hot damn, this pie is good." This felt like a you thing.
Albert subjects Cooper to a medical examination of his own.
Wait, hold on. Is that all we're gonna say? Is that all the summary has to say about Donna and Maddie's conversation?
Yep.
Okay. Maddie's seen enough. She takes off her glasses and breaks them.
I'm never wearing these again.
Never wearing these shits again.
I'm so
Where
fucking sick
and
of this.
Donna dons the shades. And also, I want to give the wool of the episode to Lucy, but just because of like the pattern is so cool. I don't know about the neck on it though. It's too like frilly. Don't like that. But Donna's sweater, the blue is like, I don't know the way it's like lit or photographed or something, but like the contrast with the rest of the scene, that is like such a perfect shade of blue. I couldn't take my eyes off of Donna's sweater. It was so like satisfying and cooling to my eyes. I don't know. It was amazing. And like the glasses that she wears, she starts to smoke. We haven't seen her smoke before, and she wears the sunglasses. She's cool Donna now, and she's really like a toothpick changes everything mode.
Yeah, cool Donna for sure. Is she the one who says the line about like, when did you start smoking? And then she's like, when I got the anxiety. And then when did you get the anxiety? When I started smoking.
Mm-hmm. She's cool Donna.
Cool. Yeah.
Apparently, Twin Peaks fans do not like Donna. People, in fact, apparently she's a hated character. I've been learning.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I used to hate her too, but I think I said one of the first episodes that we did that this time around I really liked her a lot.
Yeah,
What
I
is
can't
the hate
remember how I
around?
felt
The
about it.
maturity.
She rules.
What is like
Especially-
she's always like, what is the...
I don't know. I don't know what the argument is. Maybe we can try to. That's always fun when we try to get. Is it like one of those like proto culture wars? I remember trying to get Ben to describe why he thinks people were so upset about Star Wars: The Last Jedi, and we can kind of go through it
Yeah,
like
seen
this.
it.
So yeah, like what are the things that people hate about Donna? And I haven't found anything yet. So maybe they'll reveal themselves. But
Maybe we should just project our own stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely because she's, XYZ, whatever.
Makes her own
Yeah.
decisions.
because you never texted me back.
Okay, Albert subjects Cooper to a medical exam of his own. He tells him that whoever shot him was right-handed and between 5'6" and 5'10" tall, and adds that he hopes to have
You guys are off the hook.
ballistics ready later this afternoon. Deputy Andy walks in and tells Cooper that he has a lead on the, quote, Leo locked inside Hungry Horse riddle, telling him that he has found out that Leo was recently held in custody for a day in the Hungry Horse jail in Montana. The date,
So
February
the giant was
9th
pretty literal about that line too.
exactly.
It was pretty
yeah.
much he was literally locked inside Hungry Horse.
The date, February 9th, 1988, is the same day the Teresa Banks murder took place, so Leo has an alibi. Any thoughts on this part?
I mean, convenient for Leo.
Very.
And so they're thinking it's the same killer, right? That's the kind of the leading theory. And so this kind of shoots a hole. Like Leo's definitely okay, it's definitely going to be Leo then, because like we have Jacques putting him there. blah, blah, blah. We know there's a third guy, but like pretty much this is Leo, you guys. And then we find out like, wait, Leo's not there during this, and you know, the other things are consistent with the other deaths. So kind of a big L for the Leo theory.
What if Leo snuck out? Sort of Logan Lucky style. Leo Lucky, you might say.
Being in jail is the perfect alibi.
Yeah. The one-armed shoe salesman, Philip Michael Gerard, wanders into the sheriff's station, telling Lucy that Harry had invited him to drop by whenever he had the time. Lucy asks him what Harry wanted to talk to him about, and Gerard claims that he wanted to buy some shoes from him. I'm a shoe salesman, you know, of course. He then takes a long look around the station with a crazed grin on his face, something which slightly unsettles Lucy.
Yes. We kind of see it out of focus, but there's fun, like, yeah, it's focused on Lucy, but we see him turn around, and as he turns, we see he's got this like big fucking crazy expression that he would have if it wasn't put on for Lucy. He would have lost this expression by then, but no, he must just be maniacal to some degree.
Excuse me, sir. What are you maniacally smiling about? Shoes.
Shoes, my guy.
I see shoe opportunities everywhere. And this place is full of a need for them. Harry interrogates James Hurley about drugs in the gas tank and the tape he stole from Dr. Jacoby's office. James, trying to cover over Donna and Maddie, claims that he was acting alone and was only trying to aid the investigation. Harry says that while he believes his intentions were pure, interfering with the investigation was not smart. Regarding the drugs in his tank, James tells Harry that he perfectly well knows that he would never have anything to do with drugs and that it was probably Mike and Bobby that planted it on his bike. That is so much. Wait, did we disagree on this last time? That is so much cocaine, isn't it? I assume that's kind of like.
It's a good amount.
Pablo Escobar-ish levels. I mean, I guess not him, but you know, closer to him than to a.
It's still a baggie.
It's a big, but it's like a massive Ziploc bag.
Pablo.
It's a big log of them. You know,
you'd need like one of those big jet planes to transport.
I mean, if you like rolled into the Escobar like estate and being like, Pablo, you gotta check how much cocaine I have, and you hold out.
No, but I'm saying that's what he would.
Let me go get
around.
my giant briefcase for the money I need for you to give you.
Yeah. But that's what he would carry around. A regular person probably can't. Afford that much.
It's more than a serving, I believe.
Many serving. It's many servings.
Yes, it's many servings.
A little tiny one is like.
But it's not servings. Like a lifetime supply or even like a year's supply. Probably.
I think it might be
an addict. I
think it might be closer to okay, you're right, but it's multiple months. I think.
It's probably.
I think maybe what would slow you down too is the cost. You know, so if you had it all, I think people can pretty much get through whatever cocaine they've got in front of them. I think is the thing with cocaine.
Mm-hmm. But it's if you
I'm full. Like I just had some cocaine.
I went on a bender last week.
Yeah.
If you were carrying around a wad of $10,000 of $100 bills. Okay, that's like it wouldn't be fair if somebody said, "Oh, but that's not a year's supply of $100 bills." That's not a year's. It's not a year's supply of money. But the only person who would be carrying around a wad of that many $100 bills would be a Pablo Escobar figure.
Fine.
I don't even know what we're talking about. I wanted to. There's something else in the scene I want to talk about, but I guess the point is, I don't want to step on this point though. But like the point is that like it was planted on him.
Yes.
And I don't think it's like obviously like I don't know if we're supposed to read it as like a mountain of cocaine. I think we're supposed to read it as like that's a significant amount of cocaine, more than just like that's an intent to distribute, or like that's a
I think he
serious
even says
amount
that's
of
dealing
cocaine.
an amount or something, doesn't he?
Yeah.
There you go.
Pablo Escobar.
But that's what I was reaching for. A dealing amount.
Well, as long as it made sense to you. The
But
part
you're
of the day was
technically
just to be, yeah. The part that I want to talk about though was that James talks about the beginning of his and Laura's relationship, and we get backstory on several characters' relationships here in this episode. But when James started seeing Laura, he's saying that she was still on drugs at this time, and she would like go crazy mode and say like, "Want to play with fire, little boy?" to him, which is like crazy and nuts, like thing to be saying. But also, I guess shout out to him for like continuing the relationship. I don't know. I feel like that'd be too much for me to deal with if someone was taunting me like that.
It says, yeah, James remembers that Laura had on a previous meeting recited a, quote, scary poem about, quote, fire to him, and had asked him, yeah, would you like to play with fire, little boy? Would you like to play with the Bob? Yeah.
I'm gonna have to tap out here, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know, he must have really cared.
He did.
It seems like there's a lot of James Hurley hate too on the internet. Did
Yeah.
you know that? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
Yeah, when
that.
I was-
Careful what you're looking at though, Atticus. You're
Yes, I
stumbling
will.
into this, right?
I just Google just James Hurley meme to see if it would be positive or negative. It's pretty negative.
Okay. No, I think
lot
that they don't. People hate
forehead
that
stuff.
trio. They don't
Yeah.
like the
Okay. That's interesting.
The James, Donna, Maddie gang.
Would you guys call that a scary poem though?
Yeah.
I don't
Poems
think I
don't
would.
scare me.
I would say weird. Oh yeah, oh yeah, officer. She told me this weird ass poem. It's kind of, freaky, something like that. But I'm not saying scary.
It sounds like
Oh, we're talking
she
about
was
fire. Oh, I was.
he
so
was talking
scared.
about like she would have this other gear that she would shift into this like mania, and saying want to play with fire, little boy, and if she's like going crazy mode, like that's scary and
I
weird.
guess,
Yeah.
but I'm not saying that. I wouldn't. I get what you say. I get what you're saying, but that's not how I would say it. If I were James,
You would just say it's a little
said
weird.
She was saying a bunch of weird shit. That is what I would
What?
say. She was saying a bunch of weird shit. Not, oh, she said a bunch of scary stuff. She was talking about fire. Fire is so scary to me.
Well, you see why we get
Scary
more if he
poem.
says scary. Like that paints a better picture for.
I get it.
Yeah. Can't be like things are a little off.
I'm surprised it didn't occur to him sooner that he liked Donna more than the person who's like, want to play with fire.
It seems like, yeah, I think we get the Ed and Nadine and Norma situation is kind of something that it echoes this in some ways, like who maybe should have ended up with who, but I don't know. It seemed like James and Laura really did have something special going on, and we're learning that Laura really was a divided person. Like this was definitely like, it's not like he was necessarily in love with the part that was taunting him and calling him little boy. Although maybe he was. He was a little bit of a freaky guy.
Harry asks James to elaborate, but he admits he isn't sure what Laura meant. She was often on drugs when they met, and she would say a lot of, quote, nutty stuff. Cooper
Weird
then
shit.
steps in, asking James for his half of the pendant. James, amazed that Cooper knew about the pendant, hands it to him, telling him he found it in Dr. Jacoby's office. That's, that's a cop move, though, right? You kind of faking. I mean, I know that's not what Cooper's
We know
doing.
you killed
but
her.
We know you. Damn, I am impressed. You caught me.
Damn. How'd you figure that one out? Thought I covered my tracks. Yeah.
Cooper is surprised to learn that Jacoby had the pendant, as he had believed that the doctor had nothing to do with the case.
And
I thought that guy was clean.
I thought that guy was perfectly normal. But James is like, yeah, I found it in a coconut. And they're like, a coconut? It's like, yeah, look at him, dude. Like, he's weird. He's going to have coconut type
All
stuff
of
around.
his stuff is coconuts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys see the message I sent to you today? I will, a little mea culpa on my part. I know I was saying last time that crazy as a coconut is a common phrase, but I did do some research offline, and it turns out it is not a common phrase. It's also not a phrase at all. It's you're crazy in the coconut, and it is just from that song that I mentioned, the Avalanche's Frontier psychiatrist. I guess kind of popularized it. So mea culpa.
Let this be a lesson to us to challenge you on everything and never go along with any of your notions.
Ben thinks
But yeah, good.
Ben thinks
the
we just
corrections
fell
there.
out of a coconut tree, you know?
Donna walks into the station to check on James, wearing Laura's sunglasses and behaving in a less restrained manner.
Atticus, I need you
one way
to
to put it.
record a sound alike to this theme ASAP. The whammy bar electric guitar stuff happening during Donna's entrance. So fucking cool.
Ridiculous.
David Lynch
So good.
giving her tips in between every single take. I need it less restrained this time.
Yeah.
Even less restrained.
What did
Do you
David
think
Lynch
it's less-
play? Just like he had like a big synthesizer collection, but did he play guitar? Was that him?
Are you thinking of like John Carpenter?
No, what did he play? Because didn't he have like a big collection of synths?
Oh,
Or
did he?
like
I don't know.
I'm
didn't
not
David Lynch?
familiar.
I thought he had
I mean,
like
he'd-
studio equipment and stuff that was being auctioned.
Oh,
Well, they
not
auctioned
aware
off like
of this.
Angelo Badalamenti's stuff. I know that those synths have become highly sought after.
David
But-
Lynch's collection of studio gear is up for auction. Includes classic 80s sampling keyboard, a Fender Rhodes, and the original affordable pocket synth.
Nice.
Interesting. So
Did he
he
play?
was a bit of a musician himself.
I thought he
play?
might have had some sort of credit on the music more than I was more joking about the guitar, but I think he is. Isn't he credited on some of the music?
I was wrong to suggest. I was wrong to doubt you just now. So that I don't know.
Maybe he was kind of Rick Rubening it though with Angelo.
Yeah.
Nice. That sounds good. Slap my name on.
I think that's what I think there are stories of him, like coaching him, like orchestrating. Angelo Badalamenti is like, okay, now he's like walking him, telling him a story. It's like, okay, you're walking through the woods at night, and now you're suddenly calm and things like that as he's making music. But like back to like the unrestrained Donna, it feels like I think glasses are important in this episode. We see the Horns both wearing their glasses. We see Maddie take off her glasses. We see, these sunglasses that that Donna wears, and it's almost like a It's like almost like The Mask, right? That she puts on, and then she's like, "Yeah, I'm smoking," and actually, yeah, but so it's and and this is now a podcast about The Mask, but the lore of The Mask is that it exaggerates who you are on the inside, so you are less restrained, in the way the summary says about Donna. But it almost feels like a new persona for her. Like, I don't know if it's like I want
more of her or just someone else.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if cool Donna is Donna, but pin that, I guess. Now, and also, by the way, meta note for the podcast. There's some things I remember from the rest of this season, but we are I don't really remember. This is off the top of my head. There's some larger contours of plot points, but I'm not trying to lead anything. Not with any foreknowledge saying there's the glasses possess Donna or something. I don't know if that happens.
Cooper tasks Andy and Lucy with reading through the last year's issues of Flesh World to find a photo of Teresa Banks, a victim of a similar murder that happened in a nearby town of Deer Meadow, which he also does, kill two birds with one stone style to make them fall back in love or something. I don't know. Then
Rudy Giuliani got in a car crash.
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rudy Giuliani, the former New York mayor, suffered a fractured vertebra in a car crash in New Hampshire.
Was he driving?
What's he doing there? Okay. Then he and Harry go to the hospital, question Dr. Jacoby about Laura's pendant that he dug up in the forest and the recent attack. Jacoby admits that on the night after Laura's body was found, he was shadowing Leo Johnson, believing he had something to do with the murder. But he eventually lost Leo's trail in the woods. Coincidentally, however, he happened to spot James and Donna from a distance. He observed them talking together, but wasn't close enough to hear what they were saying. He then saw them burying something under a rock, and he decided to take it for himself. He then muses on the pendant, a divided heart, saying that Laura herself was a divided heart, leading a double life, and he believes Laura had decided to end her life that night. In other words, she was allowing herself to be killed. Cooper then asked Jacoby about Jacques' death.
We thought of blaming the victims even more.
Cooper asked Jacoby about Jacques' death. I like your ideas on Laura. Could you help me solve this one too? Jacoby says that he was too out of it to remember anything clearly, but he does remember that there was a peculiar smell that night, something like scorched engine oil.
So
I'm surprised it wasn't like coconut oil or something.
The familiar smell of the exotic Mai Tai that we all know and love.
Yeah. He says, though, there's a peculiar smell, and Cooper, kind of antagonistically, is like, a smothered man will evacuate his bowels upon his demise. And Zoe pointed out that you'd think Jacoby would be familiar with that smell. See, he's like, what's that smell in the air? It's that's poop. Interesting. Now I must learn more about this odor. I don't know if we'll get into it other points too, but all these hospital scenes, so much of this episode happens in the hospital, and there are all these wonderful little cutaways to the bubbling hospital food on the trays. Or it's not actually bubbling, but they add a little sound effect of the blah, 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 blah. And everyone's retching at it, how nasty this food is. There's so many little cartoony things about this episode that are so excellent.
Bobby Briggs visits Shelley in the hospital and tells her that Leo is going to prison for his crimes and he isn't going to hurt them anymore, which,
Yeah, he's like,
easy to
this is
speak about
strike
now.
2 on Leo, I gotta say. Like, we did strike 1 a few episodes back. Like, he tied you up and tried to burn you alive and, like, killed people and stuff. Like, that, we're not gonna take this anymore. We're watching you, buddy.
Cooper and Harry meet Ed at the hospital where he is waiting on news about Nadine.
Hold on. There's still more Bobby and Shelley stuff. Because the two of them get way too fresh in the hospital, but those two are way too horny for their own good. I'm like, so you guys should probably rein it in a little bit.
Bobby was going,
Getting a little
inappropriate.
crazy. He's kind of anti-vax too. He's like, something about like, oh, you're not gonna get like hospitals. You're not gonna get healthy here. Dude, are you
Doesn't someone
crazy?
else say like you get sick from the food?
Yeah, the food will
Dude.
kill you before the other stuff will. But he's like, Dr. Bobby will take care of you. He's like, nah, those third person stuff, dude. Like, stop it. I'm like, spray bottle Bobby there next to the hospital bed. Knock it off.
Ed
Okay,
talks with Cooper and Harry about his past with Norma and Nadine. They are interrupted when James shows up to speak with his uncle.
And Albert is like crying, laughing at it.
Albert's such a dick in like the best way in this episode. It's so funny.
Yeah.
But I really liked this backstory about Ed and Nadine and Norma. I don't know if the summary gets into like exactly what it is, but it
No,
seems like
you can say it out. Yeah.
okay. So Ed and Norma were together in high school. Like they did it like all 4 years of high school, and everyone assumed that they were going to get married, and then all of a sudden like Hank came to town or something and like swept Norma off her feet and like took her away for a weekend. Ed really like spun out about that, and in his in the wake of this like emotional reckoning with this, he got engaged to Nadine, like out of the spur of the moment, with not really having a prior relationship with her. He kind of grabbed her and was like, all right, now it's you and me. And then Norman Hank came back and found out like, oh, they didn't even kiss, something like that. And so Ed found himself committed to this kind of crash out rebound situation type thing. But then that was like the best thing to happen to Nadine in a way. And then they got engaged and they got married, kind of a quick wedding. And then on the honeymoon they were hunting and Ed shot her eye out. That's why she's got the eye patch on accident. But Nadine was a crack shot, and Ed just really liked the feeling of shooting the gun. And some shrapnel hit Nadine in the eye, and Nadine never blamed him. And I think he's really coming to terms and reckoning with their relationship in this moment, their marriage, and he cares for her. And he sits by her bedside, and Norma sees him stroking her hand, and hoping that she recovers. I think this does a lot for the characters.
Yeah. The shooting the eye out part is really great, though. I mean, that is what what's his name is laughing about. But
Albert.
Albert, yes. I mean, it is funny too, but it is good heartfelt story. Tricky situation.
Yeah.
They're interrupted when James shows up. Cooper then catches a glimpse of something in a nearby room. He sees the body bag used to transport Jacques from earlier hung up to dry with its zipper open. He notices that it is shaped like a smile. Bobby meets his father in the diner where they have an extremely awesome heart-to-heart talk.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was going to
Major-
be purely comedic, but then this scene is real, and then it goes back to like it just shows like they're just not going to connect. Like Bobby is searching for connection with his dad. Has long since given up. Like, there's no way this guy's ever going to understand me. He's like, he won't tell me anything about him. I can't know anything about him. He says like, what do you do for work? It sounds like they haven't like really tried to have a conversation in a long time. They just happen to run into each other at the diner as like two like strangers might, or acquaintances, way less than like, father son, what or familiar relationship. And so Bobby sits down and Major Briggs is like, how was school today? And Bobby incredulously is like, school? Yeah, school was fine. How was work? Work was fine. What is it that you do, Dad? And he's like, that's confidential, or that's classified. I can't tell you. Like, I'm not going to get anywhere with this guy. And then Major Briggs tells Bobby about this vision that he had last night. That's very, very moving to Bobby. It's this vision that he had, not a dream.
Not to be confused.
A dream was just,
not a dream.
Yeah. The dream is just your subconscious sorting through the day's experiences and cataloging them. No, a vision is different. And the vision was that Bobby like makes good, basically, right? That like he's in like complete harmony with himself, and he's like happy and confident, right? And he takes this as a sign that like good things are ahead for Bobby, and he couldn't be more satisfied for that. And Bobby is like incredulous and like tearing up at this, as this like, this is something that I've never heard my dad like, speak in this way, like truthfully about his emotions towards me and in these kinds of ways. And then like Bobby's dad fumbles the dad bag harder than you've ever seen someone fumble the dad bag at the end. He like stands up and like holds out his hand and says, "Son, I wish you nothing but the best in all things," and just shakes his hand and leaves. It's so crazy, like that he just is unable to like, even when he, Bobby is like putty in his hands at this moment. He could really take this opportunity to connect with his son for like possibly the first time ever, and he just totally misses what's going on and shakes his hand.
Get back.
Yeah. So strange.
I think we have very different reads on Major Briggs, though.
Okay.
I think you have a very harsh read on him. I think that he's one, a mystic, and two, like a very endearing character who's both trying his best but also actually doing a very good job at it. So I'm not sure that I agree with him fumbling the situation. I think it's more, kind of there for Bobby to pick up. Bobby
No
to
offense,
receive
but
if he
you would
wants.
think he's doing a good job. This is.
I want a
this
very
is how
professional
you-
relationship. with
Yeah,
my
this
dad.
is how you would be a parent. No, but I hear you. I guess I do agree that like he is. I do think he's earnestly trying.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's doing a good job.
Yeah. I mean, I earnestly think he is doing a good job. He's being himself, and yeah, it's Bobby's the other side of the equation that's yet to catch up on it,
Respect is a two-way
so to
street.
speak. Yeah.
Okay. I am doing. I think I'm doing a fair amount of like projection on what. Not. I guess projection is maybe the wrong word. Maybe it's the right word. But inferring what their prior relationship and stuff has been to this point. I think that like, okay, if out of nowhere like Bobby is just like acting this disrespectfully to his father with, I'm thinking like he must have done something to deserve that disrespect is kind of where I'm coming from.
Okay. He then leaves the diner to get back to work, telling Bobby that they will talk later. Bobby is deeply moved by what happens and reconsiders some of his life choices. He then thinks back to Leo attacking him last night and remembers that Hank Jennings fired the shot that saved his life. At the sheriff's station, Cooper, Albert, Terry, and the deputies look over what they...
Sorry, doesn't Hank sort of like signal to
I was gonna
Bobby?
say, did we talk about that? He like when Norma isn't
Yeah.
like super warm with him, he's like to Bobby, right?
Well, yeah, he gives him the shrug, but then he's like, well, how about those flowers or something? Did she get the flowers? And I think that's a coded message to Bobby, or that's how I kind of read that, right? Where that's Hank telling Bobby that he knows, and he knows that Bobby knows that he saved him last night, kind of thing. I think that's what's kind of going on with that, because the flowers were from Bobby that Hank shouts at. Anyway, maybe I read too much into that.
Who's the actor? Hank. Who portrays Hank?
Oh, we looked this up before.
I think I often in my mind. I mean, I know they're not the same guy. He has a very similar look to. Is his name Roddy Piper? The They Live guy. You know,
Chris Mulkey.
Chris Mulkey. Yeah, very similar to Roddy Piper. Whatever. Just observing, just noticing.
This guy works. Holy cow. Good for him. He is in like 10 things a year. Good Lord. He's got a great face.
Mm-hmm. Good hair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the whole crew's looking over what they know about Laura's murder so far. Andy starts weeping again at the sadness of it all. Albert sees fit to crack another joke at his expense, causing an outraged Andy to tell him off and storm out of the room, while Cooper gives Albert some admonishing side-eye. Cooper summarizes that with Leo in a coma and Jacques dead, there is still the matter of the mysterious third man who they don't know how to identify of yet. Any thoughts on the mystery so far in this little mini legal police
this is kind
whatever
of
proceeding?
I think that this is the scene where like it could have just been like for the viewers and the audience, this is where we are, just to recap, to make sure everybody's on the same page here. But there's it's told through this like long tracking shot of the donuts across the table, or it dollies across the table or something, and it's fading in through different locations throughout, and I think that like stylistically this was told in a more interesting way than it could have been just like a snappy like walk and talk of like, all right, what happened, just so it's mostly plot. It's supposed to get the gears and the mechanics of the story in place, but yeah, Lynch is gonna do things a little bit differently. And then Andy stands up and points at Rosen. He calls him like, he says his name differently a couple of times, right? But he's like, Agent Rosencrantz, I don't like the way you talk to my dad. But it's not his dad, but
And then everyone reacts like, you just just got spoken to. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, try wriggling your way out of that one, Albert.
If I heard Albert, I'd be like
And
when
yeah,
he
he
leaves,
doesn't
like-
care. He's like,
he's like-
he kind of knows that. I think Albert's coming back with like, okay, you're an FBI agent. You got shot. I'm a nearby FBI agent, so I'm going to come investigate you. You kind of don't. You kind of no longer are my direct superior anymore. Gordon Cole ordered me back here. You can't really send me away that much anymore. I know I'm not really gonna get. I know he knows he's not gonna get Cooper's support, but I think that means that he's just gonna like. There's nothing you can do about my presence here, so I'm just gonna be like a shit this entire time, and like I'm gonna be really good at my job, but a total dick about it, and there's something deeply satisfying about that.
Pete Martell is released from the hospital and brought to his house by Harry. Pete finds that Josie has left a note behind stating that she has gone on business to Seattle, something which, according to Pete, she does fairly regularly. Harry then says they have not found Catherine and advises him to prepare for the worst,
Kind of weird, right?
which is, you know, hey, what's so bad about that? I
Also,
fucking hate
like, I think, like,
my
before
wife
you
is a
went in-
jackass to me all the time.
I also think he was prepared for the worst, like before he even went into the house, or like he like went after
The
their
burning.
Yeah.
I think
to
he
save
kind
him?
of knew that she might die.
Yeah. And like, is it really like the place for like on the day you get released from the hospital, like tell you the news kind of thing to be like, you should probably just assume she's dead. Like, it's kind of like he's trying to get out of doing the work of finding her. It almost feels like as like the guy responsible for finding her, like, these things, we like never find them. So really,
Please don't follow up with me.
yeah.
What do
You
you
might as well just you know what I'll help you clear out her stuff right now.
Wouldn't you kind of maybe be preparing for the best though in that situation of like, I thought she would be burnt up. Shouldn't you guys have found her like dead, ashed up, in there? You didn't
Well,
find her, so maybe she wasn't in the fire.
the horns do address this. It was hot enough to burn everything, including her teeth, and such beautiful teeth those were.
Is that true?
Siri, teeth burn Fahrenheit. I don't know. Get back to you on it. The other part of this scene that was, I was so tempted to give. I can't just give Jack Nance the gold star every episode. But his reading of Josie's letter, who else in history can can read a letter like that? Like it was so funny. He had me howling laughing several times throughout this scene, even though he's like, I don't know. I don't know if he's how comedic it's supposed to be. It's perfect though. He seems perfectly literate, but he's reading it in such a weird way. Oh, it's great. And he switches like gears so hard into like, well, I guess she might be gone. She was hell to live with. Like,
But there's a little
it
bit
really
of
like
heaven.
leans into it in such a funny way. I love Jack Nance.
A mysterious caller calls Pete's house from the Great Northern, and after finding out Josie is not there, makes a call to Hong Kong.
Collect
Take
a collect
your eye
call
on.
to Hong Kong.
Collect.
What do you think that costs? Call to Hong Kong.
I don't know. What did a
$1.
phone call cost? $1? Yeah. But that's how much today?
$2. Inflation's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a long call.
Okay. This says around 2 cents to 17 cents per minute for standard pay per minute services, or free using
Now?
Wi-Fi. Yes.
So was the call made on Wi-Fi back then?
We don't know. Wi-Fi
know.
could exist in Twin Peaks at that point.
That was
Well, he was
British
doing
Hong
it
Kong.
collect.
That was British Hong Kong back then. I forgot about that part. Has Coop made any comment on that? That's another
Yeah, this podcast might get restricted.
China reunited thing. 97. What year is it right now for season 2? 91?
Still 90. Yeah, they turned this around from May to September.
Nice. So they've got 7 years before Hong Kong's back to China. Anyway, Hank comes to the hotel to talk to Ben and Jerry about his recent actions, saying that he hasn't been able to search Leo's house due to the police presence, much to Jerry's frustration. Ben says they shouldn't dwell on it.
He fibs a bit about the circumstances of Leo's shooting. He says he was chopping wood in the house because he's covering for Bobby, or he's covering that there were other witnesses, basically. And so now it's kind of on Hank to keep Bobby quiet, which kind of explains the veiled threat in the diner earlier.
Love to chop in the house.
You know, Leo.
Wives love that too. But he's got the unfinished house going on, as we've discussed before.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you do that if your house is unfinished.
Leo's probably not too concerned with what Shelley wants or doesn't want going on in her house.
Also, he's got a truck. He lives in a truck, If you got a tricked out truck, you don't need a house.
Once again, I don't think he lives in the truck.
But he could. He lives in a house. I think they live in the truck when you drive it. When you drive it on a long distance.
You sleep in the. Yeah. Okay.
You sleep in it.
Do you live in your car on your commute?
While you're driving?
Yeah.
I'm living in my car. Well, just
life on the road.
Work. Yeah, I've lived.
It's how you avoid paying taxes. Well, no. That could be I feel like that could be in the sort of traveler. I'm a traveler type.
I mean, literally, I'm a traveler.
Canon. I'm a traveler. That's actually kind of opposite.
I just can't stop moving, so we're gonna have to do this at a very slow pace.
What's sovereign citizen? That's kind of opposite of sovereign citizen. People should try that out more. I'm just not a citizen. I'm not a citizen.
Why don't people ever try that? I actually have no rights.
I lost my spot. Ben says that they shouldn't dwell on it, as he is certain that the fire at the mill will be blamed on an insurance fraud conspiracy between Leo and Catherine, just as he planned.
Dude, this makes no sense to me, unless I'm missing something. Well, they seem so confident that everyone will think Catherine burned herself alive in the mill. Right?
Yeah.
They're like, yes, she's definitely in there and dead, and people will be blaming her. Like, why would they? I know that they wanted to pin it on her and also separately kill her to get rid of the evidence, but why would anybody think? They'd be like, well, it would make sense for Catherine to do an insurance fraud here. But like, why would she go there and burn herself alive?
And isn't it kind of everyone's immediate assumption, like Dr. Haywood? Is that his last name?
Yeah.
Haywood is like
Hayward.
I guess your guy's gonna buy that land, huh?
Yeah.
The first, everyone in town.
Everyone knows what's going on here. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of QAnon mindset in a way. Like, I mean, maybe that is what they're thinking. Like, well, she killed herself, but also didn't kill herself, and she'll be back in.
Yeah, she's burnt to a crisp, but
25
she's still out
years.
there.
Yeah, you gotta, you gotta become a pedophile to catch the pedophiles. Hank asks what they should do with the recovered ledger, but Ben tells that as he is merely their henchman, he shouldn't worry about that. He and Jerry will think of something.
Don't worry, the two
Buddy.
dumbest guys you've ever met will come up with something.
You're a henchman. It probably does feel
They're,
bad to hear.
Yeah, it's hurtful
Yes.
to say someone's a henchman.
there's a lot of evil in the show, and like, Ben and Jerry both seem pretty like unhinged freaks or something. And like, okay, the scene with Audrey earlier was really like directly evil too. But the scheming that like Ben and Jerry are doing generally seems completely like Looney Tunes level villain.
Yeah.
Rather like it's a different kind of evil than what the underlying evil that like Twin Peaks is about.
Yeah. They're kind of Animaniacs coded to me. You know the Animaniacs?
No, sorry.
Oh. Okay. More like George and Jerry then. Here, there's one. They're a little
Nice.
Looney Tunes-ish. Audrey is brought to Blackie's office where she receives a harsh warning from the manager. Meanwhile, when do you check out first? When you be out of there? Not going back? I guess she kind of didn't leave yet, but I'd probably not go back to work after that.
I kind of don't think that she has much choice in the matter at this point. You mean Audrey? Like, why doesn't Audrey simply stop being trafficked?
Well, does
Yeah.
she stay there at night?
Yes. Yeah, she's like,
She
why
does?
why is my door locked and why is there this guard?
Yeah. Damn, yeah. Nobody goes to school. Nobody goes to school, I guess. Yeah. She should simply say, "I gotta go to. I gotta go to school." Yeah, I guess I forgot about that. Huh?
Yeah, it seems like
Tricky situation.
we got to
I
get Audrey
guess.
out of there.
Tricky
Like,
situation.
this is the most like immediate thing going on in the show right now. Is like, whoa, Audrey's in like big time danger. You guys, like, go get her right now. Like, this is not good.
Wouldn't the school call it in though? Shouldn't the school?
She hasn't been
Shouldn't
at.
the
She
school
like
call it
doesn't
in?
go to school. She's
Well,
the least
that-
going
I
to
mean,
school ass
That's
kid.
what I'm kind of getting at. Yeah, but shouldn't the school call that in? Probably. They probably should.
Yes,
call it
I
in.
think.
Yeah.
I think
They got
officially
they got
yes.
a lot of
I
stuff
think that.
going on.
Yeah, I want to know. I think it goes to the sort of like weird spell that's on this town of like, yeah, the school or the even the adults. If the adults aren't like actively doing evil themselves, they're totally oblivious and like willfully ignorant to the insane shit that is happening in their town, especially to the children there. Like like the principal is like, there's got to be like 0 kids at school any day, but they're just like, still like going through lesson plans or something. Like, well, I guess everyone has a tummy ache today, and just like not thinking about it or like pretending to everything's okay.
To be fair, of the adults and children that we see, because remember that this is a town of 50,000 people. Those people might be like, damn, this is, that is crazy. That little circle orb of friends that actually
Everybody's getting into some
kind of a rainbow coalition of acquaintances off in town, crossing a lot of like class boundaries and stuff like that, but having a lot of hijinks together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the scale of Twin Peaks is like, it's interesting. We've talked about it before. It seems like simultaneously, like, there's always life going on outside, but it really doesn't seem like it's got the only people that exist are the people that we've seen. in other ways too. I don't know, just kind of like
Yeah.
a weird contradiction there.
And if going to school would kind of break that, I feel like.
I think it would. And something that kind of broke it for me, or like, not maybe breaking it. I don't want to say that like I know better or anything, but like the TV news was such a jolt to me this episode. Like in the hospital, like there was a newscaster on site talking about like the burnt down mill, and we learned that 150 jobs at the mill were lost too. But like I guess Twin Peaks has its own like news station. I don't know. That seems like a hint of scale that wasn't expecting.
Another little, whoa, this piece of shit tiny ass town. They'd only have like one news TV station.
Uh-huh.
Or someone
to sus-
Googled
sustain
like
itself.
what 50,000 people meant, and they're like, oh, I guess they'd have a show.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Palmers have joined the Haywards for dinner. During the meal, Leland is full of joy while others are downcast and grieving.
Dude, this dinner in a show and episode full of like horrifying things. Fuck this dinner. I don't want to hang out at this dinner table. Like there's gonna be like a little like recital or something. Jesus, I don't need to hear this poem bullshit. Don't like play the piano for me.
Yeah, I'm out. I feel like I've been to this type of situation where you're like not expecting the vibe, and you're just too young to know that you're allowed to just
just dip.
yeah nightmare.
I guess there's a third Hayward daughter, and they're gonna be like doing a perform. So crazy to be like, hey, I wrote a poem about your dead daughter. I know she like just died, but I wrote a poem about her, and we're gonna like invite you over and like read it to you. Don't do that. Why would you wouldn't allow? Right? Like you can write the poem. It's good to like,
Maybe
get through
that's
your feelings with your art. But
our Midwest bias, though. You try to ignore it, but this is what Coasties
I'm not saying
do.
ignore it.
They call
Don't-
people over.
but-
They're like, I know you died. In the Midwest, you're right. You would have people over and
It's
be
like-
like, nothing happened.
Well, but
I
part of it,
completely
this though
forgot that
is
your daughter
is
died.
precocious child bullshit too. Is I don't like that. Is the like, oh, we're gonna let like my kid like do a recital for you. Like who? No one wants that.
Nobody. Yeah.
Don't
that's true.
do not indulge that. Don't do this like, oh, my kid's gonna put on a play for us. Like, no, that's not happening. Or I mean, I'm not gonna be there for it though. But like, it's so it could be anything about anything, but like especially your kid, your child died, and now like, but my gold star student who is in her like fairy costume is gonna play the piano while my while Harriet like reads the poem to you. It's like, I don't remember anything about the poem, but it's like wrapped in plastic. Dead girl, your daughter, like type stuff. Like dead, probably stinky. Just like, I don't know if we need this kind of vibe.
Did your parents have people over to your house, like families over for dinner, and then the parents talk, and then you guys had to go off and play with the kids? That was a common thing
Not really.
for us. Oh, that was a common thing for us. And it was like, it's good if it's your friends. Sucks if the other people, if your parents' friends have kids, that suck though.
Yeah, I think her parents are antisocial enough to not fuck with that too much.
That's probably a good idea. Donna pulls Maddie aside, explaining that she has dug into the Meals on Wheels and she has taken on Laura's route to learn more about her clients. Scooby-Doo crew back at it again.
Yes.
In One-Eyed Jack's, Audrey is left alone and locked in
What?
a room.
What about Leland's crash out?
Right.
Mm.
So he gets happy.
He gets too happy. My man he puts in a request for the fairy princess to play Get Happy. And to her, I mean, it seems like they found a child actress who like maybe wasn't that good at acting, but like could play the shit out of an upright piano. Like I think she was definitely playing the piano there. And you know, this was a well choreographed scene between the two of them. She's playing the piano and Leland is singing "Get Happy, Get Happy," and then he's going faster and faster and faster. She's struggling to keep up until he just, you know, completely loses and, you know, passes all the way out.
Embarrassing.
I would hate to be at that dinner. This would be a very bad dinner.
What were they eating? I don't remember.
They were eating like, you know, slices of meat, just like ambiguous flesh.
How good would the food have to be like worth that dinner?
It couldn't be. It's not going to be. It's going to be too humid in that room. Like, first of all, I don't know. It's gonna, you know, it's going to be too hot. We're all in our sweaters.
What if it was the best chef like ever, really putting in one of the best meals ever?
I mean, I would then, yes. I mean, good meal.
You'd be able to listen to that.
Yeah. I think sometimes in a weird place, like a weird house like that, I just be like, I want the sanitariness of like some prepackaged food, or you know, like get some pizza.
I'll just have some
pizza or
draft singles.
I don't really want whatever you guys make in this house. You know, whatever it
This
is,
is
don't make
yeah.
it here.
I mean, we've already literally seen this before in the first season, but like there are like the family where you stay overnight and you find out that we all go to fucking church in the morning, kind of thing. And we're sitting around and we're all, oh, the whole family is gonna play like apples to apples together. Oh no, this sucks.
We would go if we had people over on like a Saturday night, like we always go to mass in the morning on Sunday, but like we're not.
Oh, you were the family.
We weren't inviting people though. That's the thing. Like we were not inviting people, but occasionally you have other people that are like, oh, you can come over and then you can come to church with us. I'm like, I'm gonna go to church anyway. Like I gotta go to church anyway, so like I'll just go to the one with my family. I don't want to go to your weird one. I don't want to go to your weird one. Sorry, but yeah, we weren't
make church worse.
We weren't inviting other people though. But I think that's more of an evangelical thing or something.
You know, we have not. I don't know if we
go to mass.
We don't see a church at all in this show. I mean, so far, hopefully, I think that's such an interesting.
That's why all this stuff. That's why all this stuff's happening. Maybe everybody.
Well, they talk about church, like the Haywards go to church, but I think it's, you know, like this, like you know, Lynch and Frost's wholesome small town isn't. You think that like, oh, right away we got to see some church stuff. We got to like get in on that. But I feel like like the religion is really not going to be part of it. Really, the only part that like the wholesomeness of religion only really extends to like, oh, on Sundays as a family we go to church.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna read this part again. Donna pulls Maddie aside, explaining that she has dug into the Meals on Wheels and she's taken on Laura's route. Talk more about her clients. In One Eye Jacks, Audrey's left alone. Okay, I really lost my spot. Realizing that she's way over her head, she prays for Cooper to come and save her. Back at the Great Northern Hotel, Cooper goes to bed. Just as he is about to fall asleep, the giant from before once again appears in the agent's room. You got to be thinking, somebody just let me go to bed.
No kidding.
It's been a long couple
Can
days.
you come back in the morning, dude? Like,
he apologizes for waking him and explains that he forgot to tell him something. So, I'm really sorry.
Do you have games on your phone?
I kind
Is
of
that the
fucked up
touch screen?
fucked up the fourth little clue for you, but I got a fifth
I
one to tell
forgot.
you.
Mm.
He apologizes. Cooper tells him he was right about the smiling bag, and then tries to ask questions, but the giant gently shushes him, telling him that it is better to listen than to talk. The giant tells him that he shouldn't look for all the answers at once, as a path is formed by laying one stone at a time.
He
Explains that.
materializes. He's like trying to get asleep. He's like, damn, this Pepsi's strong as fuck.
He explains that, quote, one person saw the third man. 3 might have seen him, but they haven't seen his body. Only Cooper knows the person who has, and that person is now willing to talk. He ends the conversation by stating that Cooper has forgotten something and disappears, leading the agent to pass out, which is probably not what would normally happen if the last thought you have before you are about to go to bed is, damn, I just forgot something, Normally, try to go to bed with this one. You've forgotten something important. See you later.
And it's not, the giant doesn't just disappear. He like casts fireball at Cooper and then disappears.
Right.
He's like, oh, and then
Cooper passes out. Back at the hospital, Ronette Pulaski wakes up from her coma and sees a nightmare of Laura being brutally murdered by Bob.
yeah, really horrifying end to the episode here.
That ends this double long episode for both Twin Peaks and listeners of this
And for
podcast.
us. Yeah. Yeah, we went along, but man, I mean, I'll lead off the ratings and overall here today because Lynch went off with this. He maxed out all his stats here. He was fully locked in. This is a 5. This is incredible episode television. This is like everything that he does so well. Feels good to be back in Twin Peaks, the town of Twin Peaks. Excited for season 2.
Yeah. You guys want to hear
Ben?
some tropes? You want to hear some tropes from this movie or from this episode, though?
Yeah.
Trope number 1, bulletproof vest. That common trope we all know where somebody wears a bulletproof vest. Trope number 2, hyperlinked cool shades. Another
Nice.
classic TV trope.
You got a good one, though?
No. Well, actually, there is one that's called the Noodle Incident. Hyperlinked the Noodle
Calvin,
Incident.
this is something that's just suggested. What's the noodle incident of this episode?
Oh, actually, I didn't know that one. Wait, so you know this? Okay. The Noodle Incident is something from the past that is referred to but never explained, with the
Yeah, but what
implication
is
that it's
in
just
this-
too ludicrous.
What in this episode, what's the noodle incident?
When recounting everything that's happened in the past day, Dr. Hayworth mentions that the town hasn't seen so much happen since the Elks Club fire of 59.
1959. Huh.
I would give it a 5 as well, but I think similarly to, well, the length I think is a little much. Excited to see this pace, this quality in a normal sized episode.
Sure. I don't know. I watched this late, and I was like anxious about the recording today, trying to get it in and the schedule and all that. It definitely felt longer, but I didn't mind the length. I think it worked. But yeah, I am looking forward to more just 45-minute episodes. Ben, what's your rating? Overall thoughts?
This is a 4. Very good episode.
All right. Atticus, who killed Laura Palmer?
Leo, forgetting the French guy's name.
You still think it's Leo, even though he was
killed. Okay.
locked up?
Well, I guess like participated. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they all like should be charged with attempted murder or
Sure.
with murder. I don't think like Leo's like, I don't know. I get what you.
Who's this third man? Who's the third man?
The guy that from the vision at the end, I suppose. Right?
Oh, Bob.
Yeah.
Nice. And who shot Cooper? Someone who's between 5'6" and 5'10".
Who shot Cooper? I don't know. Not to guess.
Okay.
You have to guess. You have to give it a guess.
Leland.
Leland. Okay.
That was your guess last episode. You have to come up with a new person.
What if it was nobody's
Jerry.
guessing.
Jerry's
guessing
short, isn't he?
women. Nobody's guessing women though. Women.
I
are
like
about that
Jerry
size.
though. 5'6" to 5'10".
Mhm.
And you might be in the hotel already. I don't remember. Could be Jerry. All right. I do remember who shot Cooper. But thanks for listening to the show. If you want to let us know what we missed, I'm sure we got everything correct this episode, once again, as always. But you can write to us down in the comments below. You can write into us. Our email address is drskeletonsartschool@gmail.com. Head on over to patreon.com/drskeleton for more bonus content from the three of us. And we'll see you next week with the next episode of Twin Peaks. By the way, I've heard that be careful of the sequencing. Apparently, on streaming services, they could be out of order, which seems insane to me.
That's a basic thing to get right.
Yeah. I'm not really sure how you would verify if you're trying not to spoil stuff for you, but if something feels...
Check.
This is another tough thing to say. If something feels a little bit off, double check.
I've been feeling that way.
Mm-hmm. But just be aware that's a problem. Apparently, I think Apple TV and Paramount have both had problems sequencing the episodes. I've seen reports of that. Apple TV having the return out of sequence, and Paramount having season 2 out of sequence. So look out. Good look out there, gang. We'll catch you next week. Goodbye. This is a brand new Extra Good podcast. Learn more at brandnewextragood.com.